This one you made relatively late in Doom's development, right? As just kind of like...
I started it kind of early, but I finished it late.
Okay.
And that's what, and that was one of the like, hey, here's kind of a golden rule of level design. Finish the last level, finish the first level last.
Yep.
Because then you've learned everything about the game's level design, and you're going to put it all in the first level where you want people to get excited anyway.
Yep.
So, you know, so I'm like, let the middle of the game kind of be the less interesting part and make the beginning and the end more exciting.
Yeah. Well, and this one's like really short and intense, you know?
This
and it's like...
This is where we kind of came up with the classic horseshoe. Like, this is how we want U1 M1s to go. Classic horseshoe. You go here, maybe you see the other side from there, but it's like it's a U, so you're not in a straight line and boring, and you get to see some cool stuff. And so E1, Map 1 and Doom 2 is like that, Heretic is just like that, Quake is just like that, you know. So game after game was just like horseshoe.
Yeah, totally.
And then Switch, there's that Switch I added for version 1.9 that opens up that door.
Yeah.
We'll pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that first look outside, like...
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was like, what game had, you know, no outdoors? Like, can we just have this on the wall, you know, and instead of drawing a sky, can you just draw a picture and we can look around? And so that was actually put into the game pretty early too. It wasn't like we added it really late. It was like, yeah, of course, like, because you had to draw something there anyway.
Yeah, it's like draw that first and then just everything on top of that. It's like,
So he's like, well, yeah, I'll just throw a bitmap up there and then I'll draw the level, you know, painter's, you know, algorithm. So that's what he did, and that, so funny. Everyone has sourced everything in Doom, and that right there is from a photography book of China.
I remember digging up, like getting curious about that and digging it up. It's like Yangshuo Cavern in China.
Yeah.
This is goofy, but like I actually want to visit the place where that photo was taken.
Wouldn't that be great?
Because I mean, taking a trip to China would just be awesome anyway.
Yeah,
you know, like it's a far off goal.
This area doesn't even understand itself.
Totally, yeah.
Meanwhile, thousands of years ago, crazy wars have happened and like important things. Some video game in the future. So in this source port you can see is they fog it out up on top.
Yes, because you can look up and down.
I turned on the extreme stuff so you have glowing things. So then this is your first interaction.
There's
a dead guy. I don't know if I want to go through here. You know,
it's a little bit of environmental storytelling. You know.
Yeah, because actually the beginning of Doom originally had that. Like you would start out and there's dead guys around a poker table.
Yep.
You know, you're one of 4, 3 dead guys, and then there's these rolly chairs that were there.
Yep.
And those look just like the chairs that we had at id. We had these little rolling chairs that looked exactly like those ones that were in the pre-alpha.
Nice.
And Tom wanted to be able to like move them around and stuff, but it was like that's gonna feel janky and it's like player movement was more important than setting in the environment. Like to put some stuff on the ground that stopped you was not worth it.
Right.
You know, it's way more worth the feeling that you get from the skillful movement. Which kind of has left games.
Absolutely.
And so that we wanted to retain the skill, so we got rid of rolly chairs.
Yeah, and just the level scale here, like the width of this hall, you know, like all these proportions are like you have room to maneuver. You can use that wonderful speed.
So until this area here, I think, let me see, right out here, you know, here's kind of normal square stuff. Like this isn't wacky, I don't think. Like people saw this and it wasn't crazy. You wouldn't think that it's a military. You wouldn't think that it's like a military base. Well, you wouldn't think that it's like a real military base, but you knew it was.
Right.
Kind of from the textures and the dudes and computer stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't trying to be too realistic.
Yeah.
And then this here just kind of reinforced more technology type stuff.
Yeah.
And then this hall was a little wacky. You know, this was like here's some angles.
A little off kilter.
Here you get to you saw some straight lines all over this room.
Yeah.
So then over here I was gonna just like give you some little angles so you can see the engine can do this cool slight angle thing. And give you room here because of that.
Boom.
There.
Yeah.
And so and then I'm like I'm gonna zigzag this room so they can really see that this is not a Wolfenstein-ish, because up until that point,
totally,
if you didn't get it from the first room, this is
it
more
kind of
boxy.
feels rectilinear,
And then in here, it was just like, okay, wow, zigzags. I like the lines.
Yep.
Having full bright lights was important. That guy right there.
Yep.
Like they never got diminished.
Stand out in the dark.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Dark Forces took that idea too.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And of course, with Star Wars, it totally made sense.
Yeah. Glowy sci-fi stuff.
So and so this was also like we had. We had put a lot of secrets in Commander Keen games. Like all of them had, especially 4, 5, and 6 were just packed full of secrets. Yeah. And then with Wolfenstein, we finally did get secrets in there. And so in this game, it's like secrets everywhere. We're gonna have tons of them, and we can make them way cooler than we'd ever seen in a game before. So so that's what we did here. Yeah, kind of hurt them a little bit. Yeah, there's some dudes in here normally. In the hard mode.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then you get out here.
Yeah. So outside,
and you get that peak early on, and then you see the armor, so you know that it's actually like that it's real. Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Yep.
Versus some things in Commander Keen that you might not have been able to get.
Yeah.
It was evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you get to actually see 360 out here. You get to look and turn around and see this guy for the first time. Shredded up, dude. Damn. Yeah. And then this was supposed to be kind of a tough room to get through.
Yeah.
In hard mode.
Because it's dark and guys are attacking from the sides and all that. Yeah. And then it opens up and you double back, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. That I'm not hearing it. That was there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like in a lot of source ports, it's far enough away that you just don't hear that. And then there's that one, right?
There's
how does that one come down?
Yeah,
there's an elevator that takes you up.
It happens like right here, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I didn't find that one until like years after I had first played it. Yeah, just because like that one.
This was the cool thing here, like the one-sided line. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing this hole up here, and if you like actually go outside of it.
Yep, it's like the hidden waterfall.
But there's a hint. I didn't peg it to the top.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it's like, there is a
using those texture irregularities that became like part of the secret language. Yeah. It's super good.
So then you can just drop out and go like, see. Right
yeah.
I finished this one after making all the rest of the levels, and the room with the computers was not there before. It was a room that had two big huge pillars in it, like brown pillars, and it was like a crappy room. I think there was like, you went into it and the stair went down and the stair went back up. And it was a weird shape and everything, but it was just like, this doesn't do anything for me, I really like it.
That was something we did on BioShock a fair amount. Like we would have a room that would be like really open and kind of simple, and then we'd be like, okay, well, let's make something that the player wants to like, that like, you're like, there's something back there and I want to go all the way around it to find, to discover it,
Right.
And obviously, y'all were doing this
I can actually
way back.
Lower the music volume if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It's so funny listening to this like FM synth music.
Yeah.
The Roland stuff is what we were listening to all the time. Like we listened to Roland SCC1.
Yep, that's definitely
or it was the RAP 10. No, not the RAP 10. It was the daughter board for the Roland Sound Canvas.
Okay.
And that was the thing that made
the MT32 or
no, it was called the daughter board. It was like the Sound Canvas daughter board. So it was an add-on board to a sound card called the Sound Canvas.
Okay.
So you get the daughter board on there, and then it sounded unbelievable.
Right.
But this was like, but I when I listen to Doom music, I listen to the real good version of it.
Yeah.
The other thing that's important about the engine, in other engines, had not done it, was the diminished lighting. Yeah. So. Yep. I can just say that a hallway is a certain darkness, but then it gets darker with distance. Yep. And that was just really, really important for auto spooky. Totally. Like the game is automatically scary. Yep. Yeah. And hiding stuff in the exit rooms, and this is very Wolfy.
Yep.
Like get to the switch, flip the switch. Somehow I'm leaving.
Yep. Totally.
Maybe I'm in an elevator. I don't know.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and the end of level tally, that's also from, you did all the par times, right? Those are all yours, yep.
And those par times are wow, it was 10 minutes exactly. The par time is always rounded up. I always round them up. Like Doom 2, it's like 6 seconds and I'm out. If I'm trying to go for speed, and so I just round it up to like 30.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, can you do it in 30 seconds? And it's funny because the par time is just like the fastest. It's not doesn't state like 100% par.
Right.
You know, it's just par.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's just speed par, really.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that idea was in Wolfenstein, and that's why in Wolfenstein basically did that for the whole game, and then continued to carry it out in Doom because like that's something to go for, an additional thing because you can go for the percentages, but there's the element of speed as well. Like, and so you can kind of say it's all hundreds. What's the time for that? And you know that's where all the Doom honorific titles and all that stuff came from.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing, you know, we have pars on Quake as well. And when I was making Daikatana, the one thing I wanted to do there, I kind of started doing something on the internet with the Iron Storm website, where I basically, you know, Quake was out and it was just like everywhere, and everyone's playing it and getting really good at it. And so I made part of the Iron Storm site be a challenge, for a game challenge.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I basically
like
said,
leaderboards.
Okay, Quake.
Yeah.
We're going to do Quake. E2M5, the Wizard's Manse.
Yep.
So I'm like, my time is 1 minute and 5 seconds or something. You know, it was like a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
Minute and 5 seconds. I'm like, beat it. Everybody. And so the internet, you know, send me your demos and stuff. Anyway, some dude had 40 seconds. I couldn't believe it.
Damn. Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, and then that made me think, like, why don't I just have like challenges built into the game? Like where there's a server that has all the global you know, demos and stats and like usernames, times, and everything for every level in the game, and you can just challenge any level that you want. It's like, oh yeah, I just burned through the whole game in single player mode. Now I want to go deathmatch, or I just want to go to the level that I've earned because I beat it, and now I want to challenge that level and try and beat whatever form the challenge could be. It could be speed challenge, 100% challenge, a weapon type challenge, or whatever. Like take the ideas from the Doom honorifics and do the Tyson challenge.
The Tyson, where you only have the
just fists. So that was, I wanted to do that, but we didn't have time when we were finishing Daikatana to put that whole thing in, because that's kind of a big system to put in a game. But games still don't have that like built into them as something that should be there, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So I know I would be doing that in a game that, I mean, Portal kind of has something like that with the gold and the bronze and silver type thing. But not like not a leaderboard of people that have been playing it, you know. But then it gets all botted out and everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that basically, like back in the day, this kind of created speedrunning, right? Because you had recordable demos and you put up these par times that were kind of throwing down the gauntlet. Like, I mean, the first time I ever heard about speedrunning was Doom, where people were like, "Yeah, what's your best time?"
They're still doing it,
and you could download a demo and see somebody doing that, and you're like, "How are they doing this?"
And
This
I've
is
done
incredible.
that.
Yeah,
I've done that where I can't even replicate what they're doing. You know, even in Doom. And, like unbelievable stuff. And there was another thing that while making Daikatana, I came up with a new mode of playing Doom. That was the funniest thing ever for a bunch of people playing together. So you play the game in co-op mode, and so you have all 4 of you guys against all the monsters, and so everybody starts the level. But there's only 1 point per level that you can get, and that point is whoever flips the switch at the end.
Right. So it's a deathmatch race.
Yes.
Except
you have to help each other out at the beginning, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you have to co-op, and you have to kill the monsters, but then like maybe you'll let one guy go flip the switch because you know it opens this next thing, which has the cool weapon or whatever. And then maybe you can get to the exit faster, but then like when you start doing that, everyone starts telling on you. Oh my God, he's going for the exit, and like blowing you away while you're trying to beat them by flipping the switch. And so we did that at Iron Storm in Doom too, all the time. And one of our favorite levels was this one called Chasm. I think it was level 24 that Sandy had made with the super thin passageways. So just imagine going as fast as you can on those, stopping on a dime, while there's in the doorway, everyone's launching rockets at you. He's going for the door. Boom, 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 boom. So funny. Or BFG or whatever. But like I didn't come up with a like co-op deathmatch name. I didn't come up with a name for that. But that would be great to have in a game. Like this is a special mode where you flip a switch. In Daikatana we did do a thing called Death Tag, which is Skull Tag basically.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was actually called Death Tag before it was ever called Skull Tag, because that was the Dwango name, because Dwango created that game mode. And that was just like an unbelievably fun version. So